The sun was setting on the small town of Silverville out west. It had been an incredibly hot day. An orange sky dominated a desert that lay just beyond its last building, and the last building of Silverville, population 1,300, was the Silver Snake Saloon. It was a Friday evening, and from outside a chorus of voices could be heard inside, rising as the sun, beers and whiskey went down. Stood outside was Tommy Jefferson, an 8-year-old lad who always looked upon the place with wonder. He looked at the wooden panelled doors of the entrance and tried his best to imagine the people inside, the only clues being the shoes he saw walking past and the sound of their heels on the dry wood floor. Tommy dreamed about being a cowboy, being a working man, going out into that desert where the men worked for their silver, then came back to the Silver Snake Saloon and did what men do. The thing is, he didn't know what they did, and that was the wonder, the amazement. Sometimes he would hear laughter like you had never heard anywhere else. Sometimes there was cries of anger, smashed glasses and cheers. All the people that he watched, wandering in and out, amazed him. Dressed in big hats and big boots, the ladies in all their frills, walking in with a smile. One once even winked at him, and he dreamt about her for the next week. To little Tommy Jefferson, the Silver Snake was where it happened, where real men went and where everything led, where men would spend their hard-earned money and life seemed to be worth living. How little Tommy Jefferson just wanted one night in there. It was then he heard raised voices coming from inside. He was attuned to the noises of this adult world and anticipated the sound of smashing glass or breaking chairs. But then suddenly the sound of galloping heavy shoes was coming towards the saloon doors. They flew open, and ejected by 3 men was a man, slung out head first, right into the dusty ground right in front of Tommy. "And stay out, you good-for-nothing son of a..." There was a man in a white tabard and a towel over his shoulder. He saw little Tommy looking up at him. "Ah, you ain't worth the time of day," said the man in the white tabard. Then he spat in the direction of the man he had just ejected. The man and his fellow ejectors went back into the bar, the doors flaps closed in reverse, and with that went up a big cheer from the people inside, and suddenly the piano came to life, with jolly music, like they had all been waiting for it. The man on the ground at Tommy's feet grumbled, and slowly began to turn over. "Those good-for-nothing." His voice was croaky, and he began to cough. He looked over his shoulder and looked at Tommy, and his cough then turned into a laugh. Tommy could see dust all over his face. He was looking at a man with a black beard, trimmed quite neatly, hair black and curly, as were his eyebrows, and his eyes were magnificently green. "Now then, what do we have here?" he said. When he said that, he was smiling, and Tommy could see a silver tooth to the side of his mouth. "The name's Tommy Jefferson, sir." "Nice to meet you, little Tommy Jefferson." "Sir, why'd they go and kick you out the Silver Snake?" I wouldn't go worrying about them too much now, son." "God damn it, they got my hat! Hey!" said the man, getting up quickly. Too quickly. He immediately stumbled to one side, then back to the other, and then crashed into the dry soil again. "Hey, I say, where is my..." And as though by magic, from the open top section of the saloon doors came out a black cowboy hat, moving through the air like a frisbee and landing by his side. The man went to say something, then stopped. He sat up and simply stared for a moment, then glared back at the saloon with a frown. "There's your hat, sir," said Tommy Jefferson. "Don't you think I can see that?" said the man, snatching at it and putting it on his head. "Ah, shucks, sorry, son. I didn't mean to snap you like that. Not your fault now, is it?" said the man, fixing it on his head, then shuffling back, so he was back resting upon the barrel, sitting outside the saloon. "Sir, may I ask you a question?" asked Tommy. "Go on now. What is it?" "Why'd they go and throw you out the saloon like that?" "I'll be damned, son, if I know. So loses is what I say." "Sir?" "Uh-huh." "What do people do in the Silver Snake?" "That's a very good question there, son. What do they do?" "Drink, I guess." "Do you drink, sir?" "Sure do. Like the best of 'em." With that, the man reached into his waistcoat pocket, and from inside took out a thin silver flask, unscrewed the top, and began to drink from it. "What's in that, sir?" asked Tommy Jefferson. Whiskey, American. Is that what you drink in there? Usually. Then why do you go in there to drink, if you can just drink out of here, sir? Asked Tommy. As the man was about to take another drink, he stopped, then took a slow look out at the desert plain where the sun was setting, and he thought about that for a second. Women. Women? What's so great about them? Asked Tommy. As the man drank, he began to laugh again, but made sure he swallowed what was in his mouth. Oh, not much. Except they got the one best thing. What's that, sir? You'll find out one day, son. You'll find out one day. Tommy sat down in the dry soil and watched the man. The man smiled and winked at him, and he began to drink from his flask again. Well, well, what do we have here? Jimmy the drunk. Standing in front of the sun, completely blacked out in silhouette, stood a tall man with a hand on his waist. God damn, who goes there and says that? Said the man, putting away his flask and putting his hand on his hat, trying to shield the sun from his eyes so he could see who had spoken. He was trying to stand up but struggling, and as he made his way up, he moved around a little so he could see the man more clearly. Franklin. Don't you dare, said the drunk man, pointing the finger. The tall man, apparently called Franklin, bent in half, both hands now on his hips, and let out the biggest laugh little Tommy had ever heard. God damn now, boy! What you gonna do? Franklin stood back up, took one step forward, and with an open hand hit Jimmy straight in the side of the head. He hit him so hard he fell forward for a second time that evening head first, and this time collided into the barrel he had been sitting up against. Franklin's big boots took 2 steps across the dry floor, and then a boot was on Jimmy's chest, and he pointed down at him. Don't you go thinking for a second I haven't forgot about that money you stole from me, you scum. I'm coming for it. But not now. I'm in too much of a good mood to deal with you right now. But I'm coming for it, and don't you forget it, said Franklin, stepping over him and passing through the saloon doors. Jimmy lay still under the setting sun, not wanting to move. Then everything turned a little darker. He opened his eyes to see why, and there was little Tommy Jefferson standing over him, looking inquisitive. Why'd he go and hit you like that? Jimmy just closed his eyes again and let out a big sigh. I'll be damned if I know, son, he said, sitting up with a grimace, moving himself back to the barrel, shuffling only on his bum and hands. Seems to me, sir, that not many people like you round these parts, said Tommy, sitting back down in front of the man. You don't say, kid. Why do you think that is? Look, son, can we talk about something else? Like what, sir? I don't know. What's a kid like you so fascinated about a place like this for, anyway? Said Jimmy. Because it's where everyone goes. Well, you don't just want to be like everyone else now, do you? You want to be something special, right? How do you mean, sir? What I'm saying is, you just don't want to be like any old guy. You don't want to be like me, right? Sat in the dirt, drinking alone, waiting on a black eye? No, sir. I want to be in the Silver Snake Saloon. Seems to me you're not welcome there, said Tommy. In that moment, Jimmy went to reach for his flask, for another drink, and then he paused. He looked back over at his shoulder, under the saloon doors at the feet, listening to the voices and the cackles of laughter. Really? What is so goddamn special about that place? He whispered. What was that, sir? Said Tommy Jefferson. Jimmy slowly got to his feet, and he kept balance with a hand on the barrel. He then took out his whiskey flask and left it standing up on the barrel. It's Tommy, right? He said, looking back at the kid. That's right, Tommy Jefferson, sir. He smiled at the young lad, stepped forward and put a hand on his head. Tommy, there ain't nothing in there for a man but loneliness, he said. How's that, sir? There's so many people in there, said Tommy. Yep. And that's why they're in there. Loneliness. Jimmy then put his hands on little Tommy Jefferson's shoulders and turned him around, so he was facing away from the saloon and looking into the town. That's your future, son. Where? All of it. Any of it. It's a lot bigger, isn't it? There's a lot more going on out here than there ever will be in there. Come on, let's go for a walk," said Jimmy, taking several steps. "But, sir, you forgot your flask," said Tommy. "No, I didn't, son. No, I didn't."